we're not going to judge on this, but I just want to react on this unpopular post, unpopular opinion. And it kind of deals with adulting, navigating adulthood, and dating. So what do you guys' thoughts on this? The real reason so many people today find dating hard is because they're taught they don't need to compromise. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we all look at you right here.
I tell you, so, I mean, compromise is a part of a relationship, but you have to define what compromise is. So you don't want to be caught in a compromising position, as they say. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to compromise your integrity. You don't want to compromise your morals, but you do want to be able to compromise certain things within your relationship because you're not going to always get your way. The person's not going to always get their way. So you have to be able to bend without ground. As so long as you aren't compromising things that are most important to you. Like you can't compromise your relationship with guys. You can't compromise your morals. You can't compromise into you strongly believing because that goes against the core of who you are. Yeah. And that's no way out. Everything else to me is up for grabs. You got to be able to compromise. So, and what that might look like is, okay, I'm not moved to go to this stupid concert because I don't like this person's music. But my wife wants to. So I'm going to go. But when you go, you can't be there acting like you don't want to be there. Because that's what will make the situation worse. Yeah. So you go inside, you go, I don't know what it's got there. But you go, yeah, baby, let's go. And then you go, and then you hate the other person's music, but you dance a little bit. You find something to like about it. And then when she goes, I thought she didn't like, Britney Spears, I don't know if she's still doing concerts, whatever. I don't, but you know what? I like this one song. Right? You're compromising so that your wife or your girlfriend can have a good time, even though you're not really feeling it. And she's going to do the same thing for you because she don't give two squirts of pee about fantasy football or NFL in general, right? But she's going to put on a Patriots jersey because I like Patriots and I like the Niners too. You can't like both. You can't like both. You can laugh. You can't. You got to save a both. You down. I'm going for the Patriots. But see, that's not really. If you're a Patriots fan too.
It's John. We are doing that. You either bang bang or you don't.
That's it. Well, they say that we can compromise all this. I'm in a relationship with you where, oh my God, I'm great. I think that's a great example, especially what Larry said about football. Because when my wife and I, we hooked up, she knew nothing about football. Wasn't that said football? She learned the game specifically for me. She said, I knew you like it. I know you're about the 49ers. I'm going to learn the game, so I will quiz her during the game. I said, it's second and goal. What does that mean? And she would get it wrong, but then she started getting it right, know what it meant, how many yards they had to go. Then she really actually learned the game. And then to the point when we watch ESPN, sometimes we watch First Take ESPN, she knows exactly what's going on. And she'll stop, come out the kitchen, and actually come to the TV to see what they're talking about in certain things. So that's the beautiful thing about compromise. There's certain things I don't necessarily get down with that she likes, and I will do it. But I do it because of my love part.
I have to, this is going to sound cheesy as hell. Okay. Just how you describe that moment with Michelle. Something about that. We as men, especially when we're able to find the women that enjoy it and mellow it out, when they take this one moment and they stop what they're doing to appreciate what you do or what I've seen it and hearing that. It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's like, wait. You admire them for my watching you more than what's on the TV. And I've just to see that. Surely that once, I know it's like so geeked out. We were watching Star Wars. It was me and Maria Bledge. And she came out and was like, he can't use the Force like that. I said, woo! My Kelly could be the most beautiful one in earth. I didn't care what was on the screen. She said she understood the Force and how it manipulated the space, and he can't. I was like, oh my gosh, she is just what beautiful. I was like, it belittled me to interest in our spousal thing.
Right.
The whole relationship levels up, and it's like they adore us. They turn into the most beautiful. We will break the world for them. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that brings me to a question off of that question. Is that a compromise? That she took interest in what you like?
Or was it forged?
Absolutely.
Use it, George.
Well, compromise is something you don't want to do.
Right. But she would have Michael wanted to do it. It was for real.
But she liked it. She took interest. I think that's a little different.
And taking interest and compromise.
But see, it's not the compass.
So she acted up and liked it. And so her attitude changed.
She was so like this. So
I could have started with a compromise side because she didn't know what she understood, what she got into it. They
Kind of like united because I didn't know that it started because she compromised to start seeing movies with me. She went and it was like, oh, okay, she was exactly like, I don't know, man, I don't care about say you're to this. Like, but no, she was like, oh, Leia's the daughter. Oh, there's a family story, but like that she values right simply again. She already started with the complex can be merged to compromise. It's like to hear your story about Michelle. I can see Michelle coming up like. Wait, don't let's tell that. No. I can just see it in your eyes. You feel like, oh, who this woman? Where's she come? Like they immediately turn into a whole new being for us when they start. It worked too.
Right, so I think this is interesting because I don't know if compromise really works.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, because you.
What do you mean? Think about it. If you forced it, not forced.
Could you be advertising to?
Saturday, if you don't want to compromise our position, our faith, our core values, we don't have our character. We don't want to compromise that, but then everything else, like as Larry said, is on the table.
Okay, why? Because in the end, it doesn't matter one way or another. So you do it for her or you do it for him.
But is that really sincere?
Sure he is. Or is you going to be here? It's just partially be here. It doesn't start sincere because it's not what you want to do. But again, it's the compromise.
So how come mom is about to do it then if she really don't want to do it? So I'm just raising a question in the question because
I think that's fair.
To really unpack this thing, you said something that really stroked your ego. She started talking in that Jedi Knight language.
Right.
She was like, she can't use a force like that. Who does she think she is?
Right.
And you saw her, not the movie anymore.
Right.
Because she took an interest. She genuinely was there. I think when we compromise, it's just pacifying.
It is. You're not pacifying that, but pacifying.
Yeah. Because you can't say the compromised state is where I'm going with this. If you don't really care and you really don't want to do it, to your point, why do it?
All right, but that's about that. That's where the compromise comes in. I got some for you. Okay, but
let me give you another example. My wife can't stand Game of Thrones and all the episodes and all the seasons. She ain't going there.
Once you get attacked, someone dies.
She don't care about snow, the dragon, the White Walkers, the Winter's coming. She don't care.
I got stuff.
So in that, we had a little conversation about her taking interest in things that maybe she's not interested in. And I flipped it on her like, Neray used to watch that shows, and I actually started to enjoy it. So if I did enjoy it, I'm not going to keep going. Because that's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful with compromise as that's showing love and affection. Right. Because you're not generally there. Why? I'm not going to, in love back to you, I'm not going to make you go if you really don't care about the football game.
No, but then here's an example.
I'm not going to do that.
So using that example with Game of Thrones and your wife, right? So the compromise would be Game of Thrones comes on at 8 o'clock, the same time her show, come on. And it's only one TV, right? Which is not true. I bought the TV, but
yeah.
For the sake of the example. So then it's like, okay, this week I'll watch Game of Thrones. And then you DVR your show. Next week, you watch your show and I'll DVR Game of Thrones. That way, it's a compromise. That's a better example of a compromise rather than taking interest in it. Y'all both. I want to hear what you was I'm about to hit y'all. You can compromise, and I compromise. I was doing it for years out of love for Michelle. Out of love for her. I did it for years. Just keep it real. Forgive me, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be transparent in this. It was just, I feel the same way back then. I still feel the same right now. Okay? Yeah, here we go. I, gentlemen, do not like my in-laws on any level. But they are
Bullshit is spontaneous.
Keep it real. We're going to keep it real. We're even transparent. They're Michelle's parents. I have no interest in going to see them. I have no interest in going to hang out with them. I have no interest in being there for Christmas or Thanksgiving at their house. But I go and I do it because they are my wife's parents. I go there out of respect and love for her. I stay in my own lane. I sit on the couch and I'm just counting down the minutes until we leave. And that's where it is. And that's where it's always been. We never.
And then he's good.
Yes, they could. But as who they are as people, how they treat our relationship, I have real resentment toward them. Michelle has some of the same resentment, but because they're her parents, she thinks it's her obligation and what have you. And so I respect that. Even though I don't look forward to it, I do it because I love her. If she would ever say, well, I don't go down there anymore, hang out with them around, I'm totally good with it. But even though, and she knows, we talk about it all the time. My wife is very, but see, I don't make it all about me. I made it about her. And this is one of the things in marriage, relationships, where you have to have a compromise. Also, my daughter, Sydney, who we're struggling with right now, she needs to see her grandparents, so we would take her down there to see her grandparents. Just because I don't like them and I'm not feeling up, I'm not going to deprive them or my grandchild of their, seeing their grandchild or seeing their daughter. That would be totally selfish to me. So I take it, I bite the bullet, do what I need to do out of sacrifice, whatever you want to call it, out of being benevolent to her, and then I suffer through it for 2 days or 3 days. So then I come back.
He's just all out. You just thank you.
You got to like fairy daddy. Your Jeep. Unfortunately, it's helpful. Keep going from Bell's QB would not use that dick.
That's why I really don't want to be there. You know, who wants to be around people they don't like? See?
You say as you pick up on it, and I'm gonna sip my coffee down. No further questions, Your Honor. The defense rests his case.
You know what? Because even though I suffer through it, it's not about me. It is about her.
And I respect that.
See, actually,
You're agreeing with everything you did.
But that's my point about compromise. You're suffering through something and you shouldn't have to suffer in.
But it's worth it in the end because it's making her happy.
No, but it's not because she knows you're suffering through.
No, she's totally good. She knows.
Just say, oh, do you see them to suffer that number one?
Holidays. Oh, yeah, so once a year, holiday. Twice a year.
Okay, I see.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If you got to a point where you start off with compromise, right? You were talking about, right? You can't say that. So you can't say that. You gotta evolve from compromising to where either you take interest or you don't.
I have no interest.
I know you don't.
wait, that's the point I'm making. Because I see what you're saying. Because you have to live, you can't be stay.
Yeah, you can't stay. You said your relationship, you invest in and you take interest in your wife, and you continue to grow with your wife and have weekly check-ins. That's where anything we compromise in. We got to evolve out of that thing because it's a suffering that is not necessary. It's really a starting point.
I will make that sacrifice for her though. And afterwards, my wife, this is what she'll say to me, Orlando, I know you don't like going down there. I know, but I'm just so happy. Thank you for doing that for me.
Of course, because they like is a man is glad to do it for her. Yeah, and I'm glad that you're glad that you do it for her. But if you did it for yourself, you would do it. No, wait for it. If you actually try to evolve out of compromising and get to a better place with your in-laws, like you do with your wife, like you do with your job, like you do with your daughter, like you do with us, like you do with your church, like you do with community, like you like, you would get to a place where you're growing in that compromise to where you two can find a more loving environment. Okay, that's all I'm saying, because at the end of the day, you're doing it twice a year. She's seeing her mother and father only twice a year. That is a compromise that to me is really detrimental because we only have how many summers left in this life.
Right, agree.
And so in her knowing you're uncomfortable, she's doing this for you that she doesn't see her parents more often. I'm gonna just leave it there because that's just an example of how we compromise. That it sounds good, but it really isn't.
And on the same account, just like I have no interest in them, keep it at 100, they have no interest in me either. So that's where it can never just be a happy online trust like that. But there's no, it's just not there. It's just, I'm like, don't say it like this. Yeah. Christ suffered for us. Yeah. So sometimes we can suffer for other people. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, you have to stay there because Christ didn't stay on the cross. He got down from it. So he's trying to say, and we have to see it. But sometimes a little suffering is necessary. That's okay. And then and Christ talks about having a relationship with him. I don't know the details of the situation, so I'm going to say this and not comment further because I like the details. But if there is any way possible that there could be some type of compromise with you and your in-laws, then take that. If there's no chance at all, or whatever, from them or from you, then, a lot of prayer needs to be had. I'm going to just leave it there because I don't want to detail.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things we don't.
But compromise is necessary in any relationship because Christ compromised for us. You think it felt good to be stabbed kind of a friend view or to actually lash with Tyne Taylor? That could have been the whole as a Sabbath experience.
That's a sacrifice different than a compromise.
Okay, sure. Yes.
That's why we'll be very careful how we use compromise to justify a very position. Right? Unless they're only right going to bring to the table. Your right is interest and compromise are different. And your wife compromised at the beginning. That was the starting point, but she took interest by sight of you. If she stayed in a compromised state and she just forced to watch the Star Wars movie like this, that wouldn't have got your attention. It was the fact that she spoke back life to you in that moment that got your attention. Yeah, that's all I have for y'all.
Pretty manager.
That's right there. Just stop it because I have to move on. Yeah, that is true. But that's in relationships, compromises are necessary. Absolutely. So long as you don't compromise the integrity of who you are and what you believe in, stuff like that. Like I said before. But then don't stay in that compromiser position. Find something of value that you can attach yourself to help find interest in what your partner is also interested in. That's very